Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I'm your host, Gal Swisa Cohen, and this is the Israeli Bond on hmTV. We are in our second episode with Roni Raffeld Bluth, a very special guest of mine. This is our second episode, as I said. Roni, in a nutshell, is a mother of four and the wife of Pitzi that got wounded on the second day of Iron Swords War. What led Roni afterwards, after her husband rehabilitation, to recruit to reserve also. And later on to open a podcast named Alumot Krav that we will talk and we'll discuss about this podcast in this specific episode. And this story that I just told, very in a nutshell, you can hear all about it in our first episode that we just finished recording. And I highly recommend to listen to this story, a story about Zionism, about resilience, and about a whole family that got recruited to this very, very important war in Israel. And now, Roni.
Hello again.
Hi. So as I said, we finished our last episode with your decision to open this podcast right after the reserves tell you that you need to go back home because you were 8 months pregnant and you need to just
Exactly.
deliver a baby.
Yeah.
You need to do like other stuff.
By the way, yeah.
And I wonder, what did you expect, or what was your expectations when you decided to open this podcast?
Great question. I'll just give you like two sentences before. So I wear different hats in this war, as you said. I'm also the wife of a wounded soldier. I'm also a reservist, and I'm also the creator of the podcast Alumot Krav. At the beginning of the war, my husband Pitzi was severely wounded in combat on the Lebanon border. He was shot in the face and miraculously survived. And I think like 2 days after he was wounded, I understood that there's another part to this story, of this bigger story. The voices of the wives, the partners, the spouses, the children also, the family. And there's not enough space for these voices to be heard. And that's why I decided that my mission, as you said, like after I was gently told to go back home a month and a half before my due date, that I want to shed light on these voices.
So you said that this idea actually was born way before, right? Like a little bit after he got wounded.
Exactly.
Do you remember if there was something that, like a story or something that really rang this bell of, we must share more space to this story?
Wow, great question. I remember, just to understand, when a person is injured, and a lot of people come and visit, and they want to hear the story about the battle, the story of the fallen. They want to hear. And the soldier sits there and shares his story, and the wife sits next to him and listens. And I have a lot of respect to Pitzi's story, obviously. But on the other hand, I remember thinking to myself, like, there's another story, people. I remember people asking me, are you okay? Do you need anything? And I remember telling myself in my mind, of course, I want to tell you what happened from the moment that Pitzi was injured, what happened in our house. To understand.
Why do you think it's so important?
Because when a person is injured, and we have thousands, 10,000s of new injured soldiers now in Medinat Israel, in the state of Israel, and to understand what it is to be an injured soldier, you have to understand the effects, the ripple effects of the injury on his entire family. It's something that is going to be part of our lives for the next 10, 15, 30 years from now. And that's why it's so important to understand that these human stories are part of the
Israeli story.
Exactly. It's a very important episode of the book of the Iron Swords War.
I can't agree more. First of all, my podcast was born to deliver the stories of the Israelis and all the untold stories many times. And you're right. Like this is Israel. This is a lot of Israel is this exactly. And this is why I also love the name of the episode. People don't know, but when you trying to like get the name for a podcast, it's a very hard mission, right? Because you want the name to describe in a nutshell like a whole pitch that you're trying to say to people. And actually, like Alumot Krav, I want to just explain to the listeners. So Alumot Krav, basically when someone goes to war, and he's got like mentally injured. So he's called Alum Krav. Right?
Someone who suffers from PTSD.
Yeah, PTSD, exactly. So this is Alum Krav.
Right.
Alumot Krav is like for girls to be Alumot. But the way, because I assume that everyone that gets into their home, like the father of the family, in your case, got wounded in the war, it gets all the family into some sort of PTSD, right? But on the other end of this, the way you spell it is like with Ayin, like Alumot, which stands for, Alum is someone that is not
seen.
Yeah, exactly, is not seen. So these women who are not seen, and I must tell you, it's like
a lot of respect for understanding. Yeah, it's like a play on words. Exactly.
Wow. I love that. And so let's get into this moment so you understand. Did you want to create space? Okay, so how does a podcast come to your mind? Have you came from this industry before of like broadcasting?
Not at all. Before October 7, I worked as a technical project manager at the tech industry. That's a different story, but after PT was wounded and I understood I can't continue, I would say, saving the world with with milkshakes. That was my project on like this really cool app. I understood that back then that I wanted to do something bigger, something important. And it's funny because at first I thought of the name before I thought about the initiative. I was like, if I would have built something, create something, I would probably call it Alumot Krav. It's a good name. And then I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this idea? So when your partner is injured, without asking, you become a part of this new family that you don't want to be part of, but reality. And that's I call it in Hebrew, I say mishpacha ptsua, an injured family. It's not Abba who is injured. Now the whole family is injured. By the way, there's like an amazing poem that Yehuda Amichai wrote. It's called, I'm translating it, The Diameter of the Bomb. And it talks about the effects of the explosion. There's like the physical explosion of a person that is injured because of the bomb. But it also talks about the ripple effects of that explosion. And the ripple affects the human soul, but also the family. And that's what Alumot Krav is all about. I started it as a one-woman show, literally with 10 of my fingers. researching, producing, trying to raise money. And then along the way, I partnered with Natal, which is a nonprofit organization in Israel that provides support to whoever was
Affected, right?
affected exactly by trauma due to war or terror. And I'm very, very lucky to walk with them in this, hand by hand in this journey. But yeah, this is like a very, I think like it's the mission of my life. And I'm trying to hold it with both of my hands and to explain why it is so important. And hopefully, Alumot Krav will stay here as long as it should, forever.
Yeah, the podcast, to hear the voices.
Yeah.
So, by the way, is there any initiative that brings all these wounded families together? Like, I know that in Israel there is some organizations that bring together all the families that their loved ones got killed in the war. But I wonder if also for the wounded,
There are different initiatives, different organizations.
This is exactly why I feel it's so important, because I even didn't hear as Israeli about these kind of organizations that brings the family, not the wounded people, right? The families together, because they're so in the shade,
Exactly. Exactly.
So yes, exactly. Yes.
So I'm saying about whatever we're talking about, that what's amazing about it, that there are plenty, Baruch Hashem, organizations that want to help. I think what's differentiate Alumot Krav from the other organizations is that I don't want to bring like different, different workshops or whatever, like to provide help. I'm saying it like to wounded families. I'm trying to bring the voices outside, from the in to the out. And that's what's different about Alumot Krav, is to give voice to the stories and to show the world, not to bring the world inside the organization, but outside. And hopefully the initiative won't stay only, I say, like at the headphones in a podcast. I want to bring it, to develop it into different medias. Something really cool. Just to give you
I want, before your aspiration, and I'm writing it down because I want to tap into this later, but I wonder, like, how does it serve you? Because I've listened to a couple of your episodes and it's so hard. It's so hard. And I haven't been in Israel at October 7th, but listen to these stories of other women, it's mostly women, but some kids, right? Share their stories. So difficult to hear. So first of all, how you do it, I think this is my question. Don't you feel that maybe you need to, in order to recover, maybe it's not helping your recovery, hearing all the time these stories? It's a tough story.
It's a tough question, and I respect the question. It's important to always feel whatever you're feeling and giving it space. I remember one of PT's brothers asked me, "Roni, don't you want to like continue with life? Why are you stuck there? Why do you want to listen to all these stories?" I told you, 8 months pregnant. People are like, "Go get a massage. Why sitting with like a wounded soldier wife? Why are you doing that?" And I can tell you, it's like, in Hebrew I say, סיפור על אהבה, חושך, והרבה רגעים של אור. It's the episodes are stories with love, darkness, and a lot of moments of light. Very inspirational. I remember sitting with women that gave me a lot of strength how to rebuild your life, how to find resilience, how to communicate with your partner. And especially, I think, like, to be very proud of being part of the story. So yeah, it's not, listen, it's a war. It's war. It's like, it's October 7th. It's difficult. We don't talk about, it's not an episode about get ready with me. I always laugh about it. But it's a conversation between two women that share a similar story, maybe in a different kind of way. Very powerful. And I think that, like, sometimes I ask myself, Roni, don't you want to move on? Go back to the world where you were a project manager or just life, But then I remind myself that there's still war out there. Like, I just got a text message about a soldier that was wounded 5 days ago, severely wounded, and to pray for him. Likrot Tehillim. It's still among us. So how can I continue with life when other families are like struggling and also entering this really hard, difficult, emotional family of the wounded?
I can give you one reason why, because we need to move on, because we need to, I think it's part of resilience,
It's part of resilience only means to put behind us whatever happened and to continue with life. I believe, I want to say that part of moving on is also, we know the sentence in Hebrew, Am שרוצה להסתכל על העתיד, a nation that wants to look forward has to know its past. And to know its past is also, it's the testimonies. I truly believe that I'm collecting testimonies from the war. And not only from the front, not only from the battlefield. I'm talking about the battle after the battle. And it's part of the Israeli story. It's hard, it's difficult, but it's also very uplifting, I must say. And yeah.
Yeah, it's testimonies that never get to be heard. And I think that your platform is the only platform that currently give them space. And I wonder, though, if you can recall maybe a story that didn't lift you up, that after the story, like, you felt that maybe that's enough is enough. Maybe you need to...
breathe.
Yeah.
There was a story, I think the emotional injuries, the PTSD, are the most difficult. Actually, two of them. I'll talk about the PTSD. It was very difficult because, first of all, it's invisible. You don't see it. And it's hard to understand that the person who sits in front of you, I'm talking about the spouse, the partner, and you can't imagine it, because when I never met this kind of injury before. And
because in your case, the injury was very visible.
Very, very visible, very much.
In the face.
Literally
in the face.
Literally. And when you hear the story about a father that does not communicate with the kids and doesn't want to wake up in the morning, doesn't leave his room, suddenly you feel like he's drifting away. And it's very hard to process this kind of story. It was very difficult for me. And another story that was very difficult is a woman that came to share her story of her husband's injury. He suffers from a head injury. And for me, it was like a mirror for what would have happened if PT, the bullet would have, if it was like 1 millimeter here, 1 millimeter there, it could have been paralyzed. It could have been, I don't know, like
brain damage.
Exactly. And her husband has a head injury. He never came back from his injury. And it was very hard for me. It was a mirror for a different life that I could have lived now. I always say that I feel privileged. I know it sounds like weird. How privileged, Roni? Your husband was injured. But even now, me being like able to sit here with you abroad.
By the way, we never closed this chapter.
Yeah,
like it's from the first episode. But what's the situation right now?
So the doctor said when PT was injured, the doctor said, if you want to get shot in the face, you have to choose the exact same path as PT's bullet, if you can say so. He was funny. But yeah, PT is like really, Baruch Hashem. I can't even explain how big the miracle was. That big that I was able to go to Miluim. And by the way, when I returned to Israel, he's going back to Miluim.
For the first time, by the way?
No, it's the second round that he's going.
Wow.
And just think about the closure for him to being able to put on the uniform.
Yeah.
To go back to be a commander, to his soldiers. It's a lot. It's important. And by the way, it's a very, 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 very interesting story. Maybe next time we'll talk about it, about the women of the injured, that the injured soldiers go back to Miluim and what it does to the woman's soul. And that is very hard to hold.
Your soul also. You're also one of them.
Exactly.
Now, as you realize.
Exactly. Yep. So it sounds very, very sad. I don't want people like to listen and they're like, oh my God, that is so sad. We can't listen anymore. It's not. It's just, it's part of it. It's part of a bigger story. It's part of a bigger narrative. Like I truly believe in what I'm doing. I truly believe. I just need people to believe with me and to be part of this literally initiative, like this movement of so many families. We're talking about more than 26,000 injured soldiers from the beginning of the war. And think about the ripple effect of these injuries.
Yeah,
we're going to cross the 100,000 injured soldiers from the beginning of the state of Israel. It's a huge amount. It's a major number of the population.
So who you wish that will listen to this podcast?
Whoever wants to understand more about the war, about life after war, the battle after the battle, that understand that there are a lot of stories behind the scenes that should be heard and seen. I have a lot of like dreams about Alumot Krav, and I just need like really good people along the way that want to be part of it.
So this is the best platform to share your dreams because, like, first of all, I want to say a couple of things. First of all, the podcast is in Hebrew, obviously, because most of the people that you were talking with, or all of the people you're talking with,
there is an episode in English also, and English subtitles too. So
so this is what I want to say. That it's also in YouTube, and you can watch it with subtitles, and you can if you want to also listen to the Hebrew episodes. I would want to say that also. I agree that it really tells the story of Israel, a story of it's not that niche anymore, unfortunately.
Right.
And if you want to understand the Israeli society, this is completely part of it. And I think you're an amazing host of this podcast. So, like, I really love the way you interviewing your guests. I feel that you're also serving a mission because it has also, from what I've seen, some sort of therapeutic effect on the people that mostly women that comes to your podcast, and that's amazing.
I have to say that you were talking about it. I forgot to say something very important about the project, the spin-off series of the daughter. My Noam, now she's almost 11. She came back from school. And she told me that one of her friends came and talked about his injury. And he called me later on and told me, Roni, your daughter approached after my lecture. And she asked me a question no one ever asked me before. She asked me, Yossi, who told your wife when you were injured that you're injured? And he said, this is like a girl that lives injury inside her house. She understands that it's not all about the injury, it's also about the family. And that's when we decided, Noam and I, to create this project, Alumot Krav Sidrat Bat, like the spin-off series, the daughter series. And she talks with girls. Girls are not boys because she's too shy to speak with boys. And she interviews, she speaks with daughters of the injured since October 7th. And the final episode of the season is when Noam and I speak about the injury. And it was the first time I heard a lot of things that I didn't even thought about before. So it's another project, a very important one, to give voice to the children.
Wow, you're such an inspiration, really.
She's an inspiration, yeah.
So really, like we're about to reach the end of this episode, and I wonder, I really would want to hear what's your aspirations for the podcast or for Alumot Krav initiative in general. First of all, how the partnership with Natal come into play, and what are your dreams? This is the place to tell your dreams.
To share my dreams. Oh my God! When you share your dream, you have to make it come
Commit.
true. Yeah. You commit to it, exactly. So Natal is like a very important partner in this journey. Really helps me. There's also Natal here, Americans friends of Natal here in the States. They're partners and very important ones that help me a lot with all the professional side of emotional injuries. But I want to take the podcast. It's not but just on the other hand, I want to take the podcast and bring it to different medias. It could be like a documentary series. Like try to imagine entering a house, 3 different homes of different injuries, and with a camera and recording, and to give a glimpse of what it is. Also, part of that testimony that we were talking about, I want to go into fashion, seriously, to collaborate with different clothing brands. I want women, okay, women, a very important population in Israel that holds this war on their shoulders in a different kind of way. Not on the battlefield, not all of them, of course, but back at home.
Wives of reservists also.
Exactly. I want women to walk on the street outside and see like different sentences, empowerment sentences with the logo of Alumot Krav, and to see themselves on clothing and to be proud to be part of this community, like a very powerful community of the wives, of the partners. So I have a lot of dreams and I really believe in them. And I'm really looking for people that want to walk this path, this journey with me.
Because currently it's an independent project, right?
Literally independent project. Like every episode, I have to say, every episode on the podcast costs a lot of money. A lot of money. I started it. I took out my piggy bank. That's how you say. And I took all the coins. And I'm like, here, that's what I have. I want to start this initiative. And a lot of people donated, contributed along the way. And I have to thank them, like really thank them. And hopefully it will be not in like a small initiative, a small podcast. It will be something for the long run.
Wow. Yeah. I truly wish that. And I hope that if someone listens or watch it and want to contribute, so how
to reach me? Okay. Yeah. So I need a banner here.
No, but I will share it in the notes. Okay.
So 2 major like social media, obviously on Instagram, go look Alumot Krav, Alumot Krav, or Alumot with an Ein.
And this will be shared in the footnotes of this episode.
Perfect. Or go on the official website of Alumot Krav. You can also see all the podcast episodes, not all of them, soon.
Is there only English on this website? You can
also English. You can also, if you want to contribute something, you can also do it through there, or just write me an email. You'll see my email. Just even to read whatever your thoughts are. It always gives me a lot of strength. And hopefully, maybe one day you will say, like you'll see Alumot Krav somewhere, you'll say, I remember her in the beginning of the road. So happy for her.
I truly hope for that. And I want to thank you again.
I want to thank you, guys. Really, seriously. Wow. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for doing this important mission. Like, wow, giving voice to different kinds of people and wow, thank you.
And I can say the same and more. Thank you for being this superpower, one woman force of a nation and resilience and values of Zionism and serving the countries and everything wrapped in one person. You're saying that you wanted to have like the cutest Bluth. I would say day one, the perfect.
I want you to write it down. I'll hand it to them.
Maybe later. So again, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you so much for sharing all the other stories on your podcast, and thank you for joining us today to another episode of the Israeli Bond on hmTV. I'm again want to tell you that this was the second episode with Roni. The first episode is as good, if not even more. She shares the entire story of her and her family since October 7th, and really worth listening. And if this story was interesting to you, you are more than welcome to visit our other podcast here on hmTV. Please like, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for other inspiring conversations. And until next time, take care and be well.